Hello, TJYS. I miss you guys. Well, I'm hoping that we'll be back soon. And you know, you're the first junior symphony in 20 years that has tackled that Kalinikov. And so I want to make sure you're nice and prepared for when we come back to our first rehearsal after our break. Let's talk about Kalinikov for a bit. He was born in Russia in 1866, and he attended the Moscow Conservatory of Music until he ran out of money. Fortunately, he was able to get a scholarship to go to the Moscow Philharmonic Society Music School, where he studied violin, bassoon, and composition. That's why he has all of those great bassoon and violin parts. After school, he was able to get a job, and guess who recommended him for his first job? None other than Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky saw a lot of promise in him, and he wanted to support him. And Tchaikovsky, throughout Kalinikov's life, was very important and influential. He resigned from that job not much longer after he got it. He had tuberculosis, and so he left Moscow and went to the Crimea. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Crimea is by the Black Sea, nice and warm, and so for his health, he left Moscow and went to a nice warm climate. And the town that he went to was Yalta. So it was there he began writing his symphony. He started writing his symphony in 1894 and completed it in 1895. And he had a great premiere in 1897 in Kiev. During his lifetime, it was performed in Moscow, Berlin, Paris, Vienna, and it was very successful. People loved it, and this was his first big effort. More recently, all the professional orchestras around the world have included this in their repertoire. So you can go anywhere at a particular time and hear this done by your top professional orchestras. And now, Junior Symphony. Now, of course, we're only doing the finale, but if you want, once you get to Youth Symphony, we can do the entire thing. In fact, last year, Youth Symphony said, you know, we did the finale to Beethoven's Fifth when we were in Junior Symphony. Can we do the entire thing now? I said yes, and we did, and it was great. So let's talk about the symphony. This is a cyclical symphony. Cyclical means the themes reoccur from one measure to the next. And in this case, the finale that you're playing has themes from all of the three movements that come before it. Now, what it does, it takes those themes, plays them out, and then it goes on past what happened in those movements and bring it to a glorious end. Now, the first movement is in G minor, and it uses sonata form. Now, sonata form means we have an exposition, a development, and recapitulation. This is pretty standard for your first movement in symphonies. The second movement is in E flat major, and it features the English horn and the oboe. So those of you who are playing English horn and oboe, you should pay particular attention to this second movement. The third movement is a scherzo. As we've talked before, a scherzo, it's a fun movement in three, and in this case, it's in the style of a Russian folk dance. That's why you have those lively rhythms. They're quick, energetic, and lots of fun. Now, the finale is the high point of the entire work, just like Beethoven's Fifth and Beethoven's Ninth. So it brings back themes from all the three previous movements. He develops them and then creates a glorious ending. What I want you to do is make sure you've been listening to the entire symphony, because then you get to see how glorious that finale is. When you know the first, second, and third movement because you've been listening to it every day, then what happens in the fourth movement makes a lot more sense. So I want you to do that. I also want you to listen to different recordings. It's even done by the Marine Band. There's a transcription for wind ensemble as well. This finale is a very popular one. And so until I talk to you again, I want you to listen to the symphony, listen for those themes, listen to see where the themes in the finale come from, which movements. What I want you to do is write down what bar in the finale you hear a theme from which movement. Keep practicing, and see you next time. Bye-bye.